So for the first minute or first 30 seconds, I should say, grab your towel. We're going to roll it up in a nice long roll, but just if you haven't already rolled it up, just take a second to roll it up. And then we're going to start with just some light little twisting. So take your time, no need to rush, but roll up your towel. And once you've got your towel rolled up, we're just going to start with some light little twisting. Keep your butt muscles kind of tight and squeezed in, and let most of the rotation come in the upper body. So hips stay facing forward, knees and feet stay pretty steady on the ground. And then kind of tune in and just notice, how's your body feeling this morning? How do your feet feel? How do your knees feel? How do your hips feel? How does your back feel? 3 more seconds of work here. All right, now raise that towel up and overhead and take it into some light little side bends, just to wake up the spine, move it in a different direction. And then also notice how your shoulders feel here. A few more seconds of work, but now just notice your breath. Are you breathing through your mouth or are you breathing through your nose? So the preferred method is to breathe in and out through our nose best we can. And time, nicely done. Okay, lower your arms down. Now we're gonna put our pants on. We're gonna put our big girl pants on. So make your towel into a little bit of a U. We're gonna go 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and then switch to the other side. Step 1 foot in, 1 foot out, just like you're putting on a pair of pants, but finding a little bit of balance. And if your balance is feeling way off this morning, let your towel be a little bit of a helper. So you can keep it super low and still find a little bit of balance as you start to just wake up those muscles. But then if you're feeling good, pick the towel up a little bit higher, step 1 foot in, step it out. You got it. Nice work. Check your breath again. Are you breathing in through your nose and out through your nose? Because sometimes as we start getting going, we might open our mouths, and we do want to see if we can focus today on breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. When we hit our squats, we're going to do very specific breath work there. And time, nicely done. Okay, now we're going to hold on with a little bit of space between our arms. So a little bit of width, and now we're going to take it into some alternating lunges and a twist. So you're going to step 1 foot back, a light twist towards that front leg, step that foot in, switch to the other side. Step your foot back, rotate towards your front leg, put a little bit of tension on your towel, but this is a bath towel, so it might be a little bit wider. So just kind of notice how much grip you have. This is still our warm-up minute, so it doesn't have to be some super grand lunge, just getting those balance muscles to kick on. So we're getting our big leg muscles to kick on, our spine muscles to kick on to help support. Nice work. Five seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to take our towel long ways and place it down on our mat like it's a balance beam. And then you'll just want to kind of work out any little wrinkles, because we are going to walk on it. And if you tend to wear shoes while you do your work here, maybe just for today, kick your shoes off so you're doing a little bit of barefoot work. And then grab a set of hand weights if you want just a little extra something here. So start with just knowing where your balance is at. If you are already feeling a little bit of off balance, maybe you'll leave the weights off. But now once you've got your little balance beam set up, we're going to do a farmer's carry. So we're going to hold those weights out away from the side of the body and start to do a little bit of balance beam walking. Take your time. The towel might feel a little uneven underfoot, but that's kind of the way that life is, right? Like it's not perfectly symmetrical underfoot, and we want to find and maintain that balance. So keep slightly soft knees. Let your arms help support the balance. You can walk forward on the balance beam and then walk backwards on the balance beam. But if walking backwards feels like too much of a challenge, once you hit the end, just turn yourself around and go forwards again. Once you've got that going on, if you can avoid looking down at your balance beam, like you know where it is, can you keep your eyes forward? Breath steady, so we're breathing in through the nose and out through the nose if we can. Nice work, you guys, beautiful. And time, awesome job. Okay, now we're gonna take it into some calf raises on our balance beam. So 1 foot back, 1 foot forward. It's gonna be 30 seconds with 1 foot forward, and then at 30-second mark, we'll switch. You can hold on to your weights or set them down, just depending on where your balance is at. So find a slightly staggered stance, and you're gonna bend your knees a bit, and then we're gonna lift our heels and lower the heels. So you're in that slightly unstable surface, but if your balance is like way off this morning and you wanna get your calf raises in, just step off your balance beam. But if it feels good to be here, nice and focused work. Keep your arms held away from the side of the body. Once you've got all that going on, if you can, keep your gaze forward. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Nicely done. We got 10 seconds left with this leg forward. All right, when you're ready, switch your footing. Put the other foot forward, find your balance first, and then take those calf raises. Both heels lift and lower with control. Amazing, nice job. And time, nice work. Okay, step your feet off. Now, this is our only speed round today, but it's gonna be a little bit of agility. So walk yourself towards the back end of your balance beam, and then we're gonna do a little crisscrossy hop across the balance beam. And then once you make it to the front end, you're gonna jog yourself backwards and then do it again. Little bit of agility, keep your knees soft, zigzag across. And then once you hit that front end, jog yourself backwards. We got 1 minute on the clock. You're gonna take this at your pace, a little bit of lightness of the foot. So we want to step across lightly, keep the knees soft, and then jog yourself backwards and then right back to it. You can hold on to your weights. If the weights feel like too much, you can put the weights down. Once you've got that going on, if you can avoid looking down at your balance beam, now that you know where it is, can you stay light in the foot and then keep your gaze up and forward using just your proprioception and your peripheral vision to know where you are connected to the space that you're working in. Nice work. 5 seconds left. And time, beautiful job. Okay, now you're going to scoot your towel just a little bit out of the way so you have a little bit of space. Grab your heavier weights if you want a little extra work. We're going to take it into a wide leg position. So first go round, have both toes slightly pointing in towards each other. So a slight pigeon toe, load up at the shoulders. And then from here, hinge from your waist, come to that halfway point, push into your heels and rise up. Now, turn your toes slightly out. So a little external rotation, hinge from your waist, fold forward, come back up. And then for this last one, just to see which placement of the foot feels best to you, toes straight forward rather than pigeoned in, hinge forward, come back up. Now you pick the placement of your foot that felt the best to your hips, whether it's pigeon toe, slightly turned out, or facing straight forward. And away we go. We're hinging forward, coming back up. You choose the width of your legs that feels best to you. You're going to feel a little bit of engagement in the inner thighs, hamstring muscles outer edges of the thighs might also kick on. And then see if you can just find a little bit of a lift in the soles of your feet as you hinge forward and come back up nice and strong. Beautiful. Check your breathing again. Are you breathing in through your nose and out through your nose? One more time, up and down. And now we're going to step the feet in, and toes and the balls of the feet are going to rest on your towel. So step your toes and the balls of the feet on, feet about hip width distance apart. And now we're going to take this into our deadlifts, and you're going to add a row. So heavy weights if you've got them, palms facing down, a little micro bend in the knees, hinge forward, come up, row up to the chin, lower down, bend forward, push into the heels, come up and pull it up to the chin. You've got it. Once you've got that going on, we're using those big muscles. We're using butt muscles, hamstring muscles. So heavy weights, if you've got them, and then focus on breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, which might mean you need to slow it down a little bit just to hold and maintain that breath pattern. And time. Nice job. Okay, next up, we're going to take it into a squat. Same thing. We're going to load up at the shoulders, but we're going to focus on the breath pattern. So for this one, it's going to be an inhale as you sink into your squat and an exhale as you come up. How you position your legs, where do you feel the strongest? So maybe it's a slight external rotation, maybe it's a wide stance, maybe it's a narrow stance. That's totally up to you. But sit down into your seat, rise up, but then focus on that breath pattern. Inhale as you sink down. Exhale as you rise up. That's the key here. Focus on the breath. Everything else secondary. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose if you can. Inhale as you sink down. Exhale as you rise up. Nice work. You're already halfway there. Check your breath. Inhale as you lower down and exhale as you rise up. And time. Awesome. Now we're going to take it into a bent over row. So if you like heavier weights for your row, little micro bend in the knee, hip hinge, lean forward, keep that nice strong back. We're going to go with a wide row. So we're going to pull the elbows out nice and wide. Keep a firmness in your belly. Get that little squeeze in the shoulder blades as you pull those elbows up towards the ceiling, and then focus on the breath. Once you've got the movement pattern down, use your exhale on the effort and see if you can breathe in through your nose and out through your nose the whole time. Awesome form, you guys. You look amazing. Beautiful work. Now just check your head posture. So if you have a tendency to have that slightly forward head posture, make yourself a little double chin and hold and maintain that double chin. It's a lot going on. Breathing through the nose, holding your abdominal muscles firm. You got it. 13 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Come on up, take your time. And now this one's going to be a lot in the shoulders. So either no weights or super light weights. We're going to slightly stagger the stance. That's just to keep our core kicked on. Arms are going to come out, and we're doing our Karate Kid. So we're just doing that wax on and then wax off. So you're going to circle in one direction and then circle the other way. 30 seconds with this foot forward. And then we'll switch our feet at the 30-second mark, but everything else will stay the same. So stagger your stance. That's just to challenge your balance and keep the bottom half of the body nice and firm. And I'm just going in one direction. Circle one way and then the other. Same thing here. Check your breathing. Can you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose? All right, when you're ready, switch your feet and everything else stays the same. And time. Nicely done. Okay, lower your arms, give your shoulders a little shrug. And now we're going to play a little baseball. So put one weight down. We're going to go with a single weight. We're going to start with one side and then we'll flip. So one side, we're going to be right-handed batters. The other side, we're going to be left-handed batters. And let me tell you, my right-handed batter looks terrible. All right, so find your batter stance and then we're going to swing our bat and bring it back in. So that's all you got to do. 30 seconds of work here. Nice hit right down the center of the line and then swing it back in. Let your hips move with you. Let your shoulders move. If this is too much on the shoulders, you're going to put the weight down and just find that good rotational movement. But then once you've got this going on, if you can, focus back on your breath. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. We got 5 seconds left on this side. All right, when you're ready, we're going to switch our stance. So turn the other way, take that bat behind you, and away we go. Swinging to the other side, finding that good rotational movement. Arms move, hips move, knees move, ankles move. Four seconds left. You got this. And time. Nice job. Okay, now we're going to come down onto the ground into a kneeling position or a kneeling lunge. So just move your towel off a little bit, but we are going to come back to it and use it. So we do want to kind of keep it in that long configuration. However, if you have tender knees, this might be a place that you like to put a towel underneath your knee. So we're going to start by finding a little bit of a knee down lunge position. One knee down, we're going to be 1 minute on one side, 1 minute on the other. So find your lunge first. Grab a single hand weight. We're going to load it up at the shoulder. The other hand is either going to be behind the head or on the hip, just whatever feels good so that you keep that other hand out of the way. But we're going to lean the torso forward, touch to the inside of the foot, and then pull that weight back up to the shoulder with control. Your other hand is just going to be wherever it's out of the way and you feel the most comfortable. So get your legs firmed up first, load up at the shoulder, touch to the inside of the foot, and then come back up. So we want to keep long spine as we hinge forward just a little bit. Beautiful. And then just check that back knee. If it needs a cushion, use your towel underneath it. "30 seconds left. You got this. Beautiful form. You guys look amazing. Nice job. And time. Awesome. Now, if you can do it hands-free, we're going to switch our lunge. So step that foot down, Step the other foot forward. No worries if you have to put your hands down. You do what feels safest and best to you. Once you've got that lunge set up, just check that back knee. If it wants a cushion, give it a cushion. Load up at your shoulders, hand behind the head or hand to the hip, totally up to you. But we're leaning forward, touch to the inside of the foot. Bring it back in with control. We got 1 minute on the clock, a nice steady and even pace. Keep your legs nice and solid and strong. So most of the movement is coming from your hip hinge and leaning forward. And then once you've got all of that down, now see if you can focus on breathing in and out through your nose. Twenty seconds left. And time, nice. Okay, now we're gonna come into a high kneel situation. So if you can, just step that other knee down. Once you've got your high kneel situation, we're gonna go in little baby steps to find the edge of the movement range of motion for you. So load up at your chest. We're gonna start by just bringing the butt back about 1 inch and then squeeze the glutes, come forward. Bring the butt back maybe 2 inches, come back up, squeeze the butt. You might only stay at that 2 inches. You might already get plenty of work in those quadricep muscles, and that might be enough. And then if 2 inches felt good, go back about 3 inches and then come back up. And then if 3 inches felt good, maybe you go back about 4 inches and then come back up. What we're going to try to do is go back as far as you can where you're strongest and your knees don't scream at you before your butt touches your heels. So we're going to keep the butt hovering away from the heels the whole entire time. You might be going back 1 inch. You might be going back 2 inches. That's not important. What's important is that you're staying strong in the position that feels the best to you. And once you've got all that going on, breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. That's the key work today. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Ten seconds left. You're doing awesome. Nice work. And time. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to bring our towel back in. We're going to run it long ways against the side of your mat. So mine got all higgledy-piggledy. So straighten it up if you need to. We're going to use it as a cushion for the wrist. So place it long ways. Make sure you get all those little lumps out. We're going to start with a knee down crawl, and then we'll add in the knee lift. So start by finding a sideways position, and now we're just going to sideways crawl. So you're going to use your heels of your hands on the towel. Let the fingers fall off. Start to crawl sideways one way and then sideways the other, just to the end of your towel. Once you've got your way all the way to the end of your towel, see how it feels to pick the knees up. Can you keep the knees lifted the whole time and find that sideways crawl? If the knees up feels like it's just a little too much of a challenge and it makes it so you can't breathe in and out through your nose, place your knees down. You're still going to get lots of good work through the entire back of your body. Amazing. Nice job, you guys. Beautiful. And time. Awesome job. Okay, now we're going to come down into a side lying position. So if you like, whoop, 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 use your towel, wipe off your sweat. We're going to come down onto our side. And then how you position yourself here, that's just going to be what you feel the most stable with. So start by seeing if you can come all the way down, and that bottom hand is just going to support behind the head. Legs are going to go nice and long. Lift the top leg up. And now we're going to start a little kick forward and back. See how that feels. We're going to start by supporting with the top hand just to find our stability. And then if you're feeling really good and stable, you're going to take that hand behind the head and see if you can still maintain that stability. If you can't maintain the stability, keep your hand on the ground, but kick that foot forward and back. And then if you want to get a little bit fancy here, flex the foot as you kick it forward, point the toe as you kick it back. And then once you've got all that going on, you can find that focus on the breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. "15 seconds left. And time. Nice job. Okay, come on up. We're spinning it around and taking it right to the other side. So you're going to find your side lying position, which could also mean propped up on the elbow and forearm. But if you can, come all the way down so that the head is supported. Nice long legs. Lift that top leg up. Support first. Find your balance and then see how it feels. Maybe you like the hand behind the head just to have that little challenge. But if you're wobbling all over the place, place your hand on the ground, support the torso. And then if you want to get real fancy, flex the foot as you come forward and point the toes, you reach it back. Beautiful work. You're already halfway there. Oh my gosh, you guys are making this look easy. I'll have to up level this one. "15 seconds to go. And time. Nice job. Okay, we're flipping over onto our back side. It's going to be a full body crunch and then a hip bridge. So we're going to come down onto our back with a nice bent knee position, hands behind the head. We're going to pull the knees and elbows in, give a little squeeze, release the feet down to the ground, lift your hips, squeeze your butt, bring it in, crunch, and then put the feet down and into your hip bridge. Focus on the breath here if you can. Exhale as you come in for that crunch. Inhale as you release the feet down. Exhale as you lift the butt up and squeeze. Inhale to release down. Exhale, contract the abdominal muscles. Inhale to release. Exhale to lift the butt. Inhale to release. Once you've got that going on, if you can focus on it, breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Three seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, now we're going to grab our towel. We're going to send the legs nice and long. We're going to use the towel sideways just to put a little tension on. So you're going to pull apart on that towel a little bit. Arms are going to raise up and overhead. We're going to keep and maintain that tension on the towel. Exhale, curl up the head, neck, and chest. Push through your heels. Roll your way up. Reach past your toes if you can. If you have super tight hamstrings, and that's a lot on the hamstring muscles, you're going to bend your knees considerably, but everything else will stay the same. Roll your way down, arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, we curl up the head, neck, and chest. Keep your knees bent. If that's better for the hamstrings, reach past the toes, and then roll your way down nice and slow and controlled. You've got it. And time. Nicely done. Okay, come on up into a seated position. And now you're going to grab your toe booty band. And if you don't have the toe booty band, I'm just going to grab my looping resistance band just so you can see that you can also do this work with a looping resistance band, which would just mean you're just going to do 1 foot at a time. So do 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other. So if you're using your looping resistance band, you're going to loop around the big toe, extend the leg out, pull out away from the toe, and you're just going to move the big toe. If you're working with your toe booty band, you're going to take your band, wrap it around both big toes, make sure it's flush. Once you've got it flush, you're going to send your legs out in front of you. Now, if seated in this position, you have a tendency to round, take your towel, sit on it, so it elevates the hips and you don't have to focus so much on the posture. We really want our focus to be at the feet. So if you just have a tendency to have that slightly rounded posture in this seat particular, place your towel under your butt. We're going to put the band around the toes, move your toes away from each other so that there's about a centimeter of space between the two big toes, and then get your feet nice and solid. And we're just going to try to move the big toes up and down. So try to keep the 4 small toes as spread as you can, and just with control, move the big toes up and down. Now, for some of us, the work might actually just be in pulling apart and keeping that tension. So if that's the level you're at today, just do that work. Bring them in, pull them apart, bring them in and pull them apart. But if you've got that down and you're able to hold and maintain that tension, big toes up, big toes down. 10 more seconds of work here. Check your breathing. Are you still breathing in through your nose and out through your nose? All right, now for the next 30 seconds, we're going to keep and maintain that tension between the two big toes so everything stays nice and strong. There's that good even spread between the toes best you can. And now we're going to start to pedal the legs. So we're going to keep the big toes as stable as we can and move the foot slightly forward and back. So it doesn't need to be extreme. What it needs to be is controlled. So we want to make sure we keep and maintain a good tension on the big toe, a good even space between the two big toes. You got 15 seconds left. Sometimes I find it helps if I ask my fingers to do the work as well, then I can get my toes to do it. Sometimes it just takes a little time for that message from the brain to get all the way down to the toes. And time. Nicely done. Okay, relax your toes, remove that toe booty band, squish your toes around, give them a good little wiggle. And then if you were sitting on your towel, maybe move it out from underneath your butt. Bring the soles of the feet together. And we're just going to grab the toes and just kind of smush them around a little bit, just to give them a little love. They work hard for you. All right, once you've smushed your toes around just a little bit, your diamond shape, whatever shape feels the most comfortable to you so that there's not any pinching up in that hip crease area. And then just lean your chest forward just a little bit. So maybe you'll feel a stretch in the inner thigh groin area, or maybe the hips. That's just going to be subtle variations of what you experience in your body. So lean yourself forward just to a point where you feel good sensation, and then take 3 nice big breaths. Nice. And then when you're ready, lift your chest, bring your legs together. We're going to come all the way up to a standing position. Take your towel width, and we're going to do our little towel shoulder over stretch. So bring the towel behind your back. Give yourself a good amount of space so that your arms can move pretty freely away from the back of the body. And then once you feel like you found that, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold over, let your arms fall away from the back of your body. Nice. When you're ready, hands towards the low back, bend your knees, lift from the top of your head, come up nice and slow and controlled. We're going to bring the towel in front and come back to a side bend stretch. So step your feet to a nice even space, arms up and overhead. We're going to just tip over to one side, stay on that one side, and then put a little tension on your towel, like you're trying to pull the towel apart from itself, but also having that side bend stretch. So the arms are engaged this whole time. Soften up that arm tension, come back up, and then switch over to the other side. Bend over. Once you're leaned over, then pull on that towel and create that tension. Relax that tension on the towel, come up nice and slow, release your arms and take a couple of shrugs of your shoulders. You guys are amazing. Nice work today. If you need a little forward fold, just to stretch those hamstrings, because we did work those deadlifts a little bit. But if you're sticking around, grab your foam roller. You guys are awesome.